What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games, and in today's video we got another leak update for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and we got the return of Kaka. Kaka is back and has tweeted. Riddler Khu put out some new information as well, and we're going to be going over some theories and speculation over the Dark type Quartet sub-legendary group, which is very exciting. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and like the video. I really appreciate it. Diving into our leaks with Riddler Khu tweeted out one thing, and it's pretty interesting. He says, do you think Titan Champion using Poison, Terrestrial, cool, and sick or not? So this gives us a lot of hints. So one, we're talking about the champion, and we already know who the champion is. If you don't know, this is Geeta. Geeta is the champion of Scarlet and Violet. Yes, there's more than one champion. There's actually two champions, but Geeta is the champion of champions, and we are assuming we're going to be fighting Geeta at the very end of the game in order to get that champion rank. Back to the tweet. The champion Geeta here is going to be using a poison type terrestrial, and he wants to think it's cool or not. Well, this is very interesting. A poison type terrestrial, right? Well, we have seen one leaked Pokemon so far that is using the poison type terrestrial. This is actually one of the first leaked images for Scarlet and Violet in general. And that is this Pokemon. This is the plant Pokemon. Apparently, this Pokemon's type is rock and poison, and we actually already knew it was on Geeta's team, but now we know for a fact it definitely is on Geeta's team because this is also using the poison type terrestrial, which is her main terrestrial typing. And I do think it is very important that she is using a rock poison type Pokemon, because if you look at all the gym leader types, star bosses, and the Elite Four, 17 of the 18 types are represented. The only type that is missing is rock. Yes, there is a rock type Titan. However, for specialty trainers, I think Geeta is going to be the rock type specialist. We do know that two of the 6 Pokemon on her team are not rock types. She has the Hike Fish, which is going to be water and psychic, and she has the Ostrich, which is looking like Cleopatra, which is pure psychic. So there's 2 pure psychics, and then she has a rock poison. I have a feeling the last 3 Pokemon will be represented by new rock-type Pokemon and potentially a Paradox Pokemon too. We'll have to see. We don't know for sure, but I do think that she's going to be the specialty rock trainer. Probably not a hard specialty rock trainer because she doesn't have a team of 6 and there is no fossils in the game. So it's going to be really hard to fill out that team. So I do think at the very least 3 of the Pokemon on her team are going to be rock types, and then the other 3 are just be a hodgepodge to like cover up typing. But let me know in the comment section below if you think I'm onto something there. But it is weird that there is only rock not covered by any specialty trainer, and it sort of makes sense for Geeta, who is confirmed to have a 1 rock type at the very least, to be considered that specialty trainer. And we actually got a new leak update from Kaka as well. Kaka has been MIA for a while, apparently was on vacation, and now they're back. However, they came back, said a little bit of things, and that was it. And really not too much of anything interesting, but I think it's worth reporting on anyways. Kaka says said Flowermon has a new ability in binary, but then stated he wasn't sure. I only remember the ability effect. So maybe the rock flower that we were just talking about has a new ability or not. He remembers the effect, does not tell us what the effect is. So a really useless tweet right there. He also tells us the order for Team Star. So we knew the order for the gym leaders and for the Titans, but now we know the recommended order for Team Star. And it seems to be Fire, Dark, Poison, Fairy, and Fighting, or Fire, Dark, Poison, Fighting, and Fairy. So it looks like, you know, very standard the first 3, and then you can flip the last 2, right? I mean, that seems cool, honestly, and I assume that they're going to be essentially like sub gym leaders in the sense that they're probably going to be almost as strong as them, not have as many Pokemon. I mean, there's only 5 of them, and I'm sure once we defeat all 5 of these, we get to fight the leader, and we do know that Penny is the leader of Team Star, so I wonder how strong her team's going to be. Probably like a Giovanni situation, probably be as strong or maybe even a little bit stronger than the 8th gym leader, and that is technically the psychic gym leader if you do it in recommended order. And then Kaka added fairy boss ... so something about the fairy boss, but we couldn't translate it. And then poison boss respects blank, another thing we just could not make out. And then he went to bed. So that's our Kaka update. Very disappointing and lame. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Kaka right now. You know, we are less than 60 days away from the release of Scarlet and Violet. We need some big leaks or at least some official news. And it seems like Kakao may be a little bit washed up. I don't know, but I think Riddler Khu at least is giving us some interesting talking points at the moment. We are a bit light on leaks. However, the rumors and speculation is at an all-time high. And I really want to talk about the Dark Quartet for Scarlet and Violet. If you didn't know, there is going to be a sub-legendary group of 4, right? And they're all dark types: dark ground, dark fire, dark ice, and dark grass. And apparently, they're going to be based off of a Chinese mythos, which is going to be pretty cool. And they're all different and distinct from each other. So the first sub-legendary is the Dark and Ground, the Ding Lu, the Ding Deer. Is an evil deer spirit. The second sub-legendary is Dark and Fire, Incineroar typing right there. It's a UU, it's a Jade Fish, an evil fish spirit. They're all evil. I mean, if you didn't know, in Japan, Dark type is actually the evil type. So these Pokemon potentially could be nefarious and evil. And I do have a feeling that in the post game, we're going to be encountering them. It was confirmed that they're not part of the main story. Also, we're going to have to chase them down, just like in Pokemon Sword and Shield with the Galarian birds. We're going to have to do that in the same way. And I assume because there's 4 of them, we're going to have to go north, south, east, and west and to capture each one. That's a personal theory, but I think it makes a lot of sense, especially with an open world design of this game. The third sub-legendary is Dark Ice, which is a really cool typing, Weavile typing, and it's a sword leopard. So this thing sounds very offensive to me right from there. An evil leopard spirit. And the last one is Dark Grass, which is a bamboo book snail, an evil snail spirit. And I think that's cool, honestly. Not enough snail Pokemon. And I mean, like, we have Goodra, but like, I really want more snails. I think that is a type of animal we don't get enough in Pokemon for sure. They are evil spirits, and likely their names will be hard to pronounce if you're in English, but they'll probably make it way easier to pronounce it. I agree. I mean, when we look at something in Chinese, it's never going to be translated from Chinese to English. Pokemon names are either made in English and then put to Japanese, or Japanese to English. It was also leaked that their special abilities will be about debuffing your opponent, so it could be like Intimidate, which I sort of think is going to be like Intimidate. However, it's going to be for special attack, special defense, and speed. So I think that'll be really OP. Actually, each one has a different one. I honestly think that's what's going to be. I don't think any of them will actually have Intimidate on its own. What if each one is a -2 though, instead of a -1? That would be beyond OP. Honestly, these are going to be cracked out abilities, and these Pokemon are going to be very competitive. I actually have a big feeling that these Pokemon potentially could be as strong as something like Legendaries and Incineroar in competitive play for VGCs. A couple of theories people have is they could be sealed in certain objects. It makes sense. They're evil spirits, and then in order to capture them, you got to free them, and then you got to chase them down. Wonder how fast that snail's actually going to be, though, because it is a snail. Bet it's going to be really slow. Or it could be related to seasons, but there is not true seasons in the game. We already learned that. It's not like, oh, time is going to change and anywhere on the world could be fall. It's like, no, there's going to be an area of the map that is going to be snowy. There's going to be an area of map that's going to be more autumny, an area of map that's like summer and spring, but it's not true seasons. It's just like, it's not a dynamic weather system in the sense of the seasons are changing based around the year. Like, sure, maybe some areas will be raining, some will be snowing, but it's not necessarily changing the actual seasons. I do want to end it here on a note about the potential designs of these new Dark Quartet Legendaries. I really think this one's sick. Shout outs to Mad Zygar Core here on Twitter. They did some phenomenal work with this bamboo snail. I have a feeling that the actual bamboo snail that we get, the grass dark one, will not be as cool as this. And they actually also did it for the ground dark deer as well. I think this one looks pretty good, but I actually am totally in love with this snail. I think that is a perfect thing. This sort of reminds me of more of a, like, the Sword of Justice Pokemon. I'm really looking to their work on the leopard and on the fish. So there we have it, guys. That is our leak update and speculation on the Dark Legendary Quartet for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like. I really appreciate it. And of course, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. It helps me out immensely. And I'll catch you guys next time with more Pokemon action. Peace out, and have a great one.